Pancakes, healthy food. Alright, so I'm starting us off with an easy one here. Pancakes in themselves are mostly empty energy, calories, etc. And when you add maple syrup, you're in for a seriously unhealthy situation. But pancakes can be healthy, which is why they're included in this list. Pancakes made with oatmeal flour, egg whites only, etc., and served with fruits like blueberries, which are rich in antioxidants, are packed with good fats and slow-release energy which can get you through the day. In fact, well-made healthy pancakes can be better for you than most of the foods on this list. Although eggs contain a lot of protein, vitamin B12, iron, vitamin D, calcium and much more, frying them in any way in either oil or butter packs them with more cholesterol than you want to be consuming in your morning. Try poaching. It's a bit tricky at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's okay. A tiny drop of vinegar in the water makes a big difference, or failing that, boiling them, which is harder to get wrong. And in that way, you'll get all of the eggy goodness with just a fraction of the cholesterol. Breakfast biscuits are a relatively new and awful craze from cereal manufacturers who've seen the popularity of cereal bars decrease in recent years. They boast convenience and slow-release energy, which is designed to get you right through until lunchtime, but the facts are actually quite different. A survey of 39 products found in UK supermarkets found that almost half have the same or more sugar than a 30-gram serving of Cocoa Pops, which contains 3 teaspoons of sugar. Now, sugar does give you energy, of course, but it releases it super fast, meaning that you crash early. Couple that with bleached flours and fattening toppings, and you're looking at pretty bad breakfast fun. Breakfast biscuits, come on, you're eating biscuits. Let's not be silly. Rather than skipping breakfast or stopping off at those all too tempting fast food joints, you may be tempted to pick up a packet of instant oatmeal, which you throw in the microwave and enjoy. It is better than getting fast food, but it should be noted that it's not terribly good for you either. Instant oatmeal is low in both fibre and proteins, which means that you'll be desperate to eat again by mid-morning. Couple that with the amount of added sugar and other toppings, you might be better off trying something else completely. Look for non-flavoured oatmeal with 4 grams of fibre and 5 grams of protein per serving. Better still, just make your own with oats, pure, unadulterated oats. Top it with some blueberries, blackberries, or even strawberries if you're feeling a bit decadent. It's not as quick, but it's still pretty quick, and at least it's actually good for you. Sure, they may sound, and let's face it, taste like a healthier alternative to donuts and other forms of muffins, but most commercially manufactured brand muffins clock in at a staggering 800 calories, with most of it coming from sugar and fat. This is one breakfast food that adding blueberries cannot save. Your daily dose of caffeine in the morning might be the most important part of the day. It's certainly the most important part of mine, but many of us use it as a substitute for actually eating. And how many people have you spoken to who say they can't start the day without a cup of coffee? Now, while the caffeine kick might wake you up, if you're relying on coffee, especially those fatty coffee shop jobs full of whole milk, to get you through the morning on its own, then you're not achieving all you can. Coffee itself is good for you though. It's believed that it boosts memory, lowers the risk of Alzheimer's, heart disease and Parkinson's, and increases your metabolism. So there's no reason to cut it out of your breakfast, just drink it alongside some actual food. Toast and margarine might seem healthy. I mean, after all, it doesn't contain saturated fat or sugar. Fantastic, right? Well, wrong. Most of the flour in commercially made breads is refined, meaning that you get very few nutrients and basically no fibre. 2 of bread's main selling points. It can spike your blood pressure, and it means that you may also be inclined to eat more at your next meal. Margarine, meanwhile, has trans fats, which are some of the most unhealthy things that you can eat. Manufacturers create trans fats by adding hydrogen to vegetable oils in order to make them appear more like saturated fats, which are solid at room temperature. Studies are yet to prove that saturated fats cause harm, but trans fats are definitely bad for you. There's a massive amount of evidence that trans fats are highly inflammatory, increase your risk of disease, and also they just stick around in your body in weird places and make you lumpy, and won't go away when you exercise. Stay away from them. Not fruit juice, I hear you cry. Please leave me with my delicious fruit juice. I'm sorry. Yes, fruit juice is a terrible breakfast, and if you're trying to avoid hunger, weight gain, and chronic disease, you are trying to avoid those things, aren't you? You're supposed to. Anyway, many fruit juices on the market contain staggeringly little juice and are often just loaded with sugar, or worse, high fructose corn syrup, which may make it taste delicious, but it's also going to increase your chance of type 2 diabetes by a lot. Scientifically, just a lot. And even 100% fruit juice contains a lot of natural sugar too. And although it's better for you, consuming large amounts of it can also affect your weight and health. There's no fat or fibre in fruit juices to slow down absorption, meaning that your blood sugar will rise very quickly and crash even quicker. Don't try to substitute juice for food. Freshly squeezed juices are obviously better, but don't look beyond water as a breakfast accompaniment. Water is good. And the thing is with fruit juice is if I sat you down in front of 12 oranges and told you to eat them, you probably wouldn't, but you can get through that amount of juice in no time at all. It's just too much sugar. White bread delivers very little nutritious value. Yeah, I'm sorry, white bread, I said it, get over it. When a grain is refined, such as in the making of flour for white bread, the outermost and innermost layers of the grain are removed. This removes the fibre and about 25% of the protein, leaving behind the starch, says Erin Polinsky-Wade. Now, due to the low amounts of the fibre and protein that help to slow digestion, white bread is digested and absorbed very quickly, leading to blood sugar rising very sharply indeed. Also, research published in 2010 in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who ate several servings of whole grains on a daily basis and a limited consumption of refined grains had less of a type of fat that increases the risk of type 2 diabetes. Basically, just try and lay off the white bread. Quick, easy, refreshing, the staple of breakfast foods for decades. Surely cereal can't be bad for you? Well, it depends. When cereal is bad for you, like the sugary treats which kids and adults alike love, it is very, very bad for you. Packed with sugar, refined flours, and suffers from many of the same vacuum of nutrition that white breads do, and that's before you add in whatever flavourings your favourite brand has. To keep your breakfast cereal healthy, look at granola with natural Greek yogurt maybe, unflavoured stuff of course, and plenty of fresh fruit to give you the slow release energy, vitamins and nutrients that kick you up and get you going until lunch. Don't avoid cereal entirely, but chances are if your cereal is sweet and tasty, then it's not really good breakfast food.